Imagine having all the time in the world to do whatever you want. How would you spend that time? Sitting by the poolside all day? Finally learning that skill or hobby you've been interested in? Going on exotic vacations as often as possible? In our society, this is how we often paint the picture of retirement, the ultimate freedom to do whatever we want, whenever we want. But often this promise of a happy ending can limit us to endure meaningless jobs and spend all of our time working, hustling, grinding our way towards the finish line while putting everything else in our lives on hold. But what if you make it to that finish line and realize that there was no destination? Would you have reconsidered the path that you took to get there?
For most of us, work dominates our lives, and I was no exception to this. When I was a college student, and even before that, I remember that I would always plan out my life based on my work, where I was going to live, what my day-to-day was going to look like, and also what kind of lifestyle I could afford. So I figured that if I work really hard, save up enough, invest that money, then I could afford to retire early, and I could free up my time to do whatever I wanted. And in fact, that's exactly what I did. And I know some of you guys know the story, but for those who don't, my husband and I, we bought 2 really beat up properties, and we worked on these houses for about 3 years nonstop. Both of us worked 40 plus hours at our day jobs, then we would come home and work on these properties at night. And it wasn't just in the evenings, but it was our free time, the weekends and holidays. And because we were doing all the work ourselves, we really had to stick to a timeline and budget. So it was pretty intense, to say the least. And looking back now, I am so proud of us and so proud of what we were able to achieve. I'm really grateful that the opportunity came to us. But to be honest, it was a lot. And I felt like I had to give up a lot of what was happening in my life at that moment in order to achieve it. And I just wish that I had learned to balance it a little bit better and take some time off if I really needed to. Take the paid time off to go see my parents more often, attend a few more birthday parties, because now I realize that time in my life is something I can never get back. And that really made me question, was what I'm giving up now worth what I'm gaining later? This is just my story, but I also hear this story from my dad's coworkers, even my own family members and my clients who are now all retired. They were in such a rush to retire that they had to work extra shifts and sometimes sacrifice their weekends and holidays. But now that they're retired, they don't really know what else to do with their time. For many, it seems like so much of their time revolved around work that they never really took the time to travel or change jobs, develop friendships, to explore other aspects of life. And now all they know is how to work because that's exactly how they've been conditioned for so long. And for many, work defines who they are. And I guess this is why so many people decide to go back to work. And some due to the fact that they don't have enough finances, which is a completely another topic. But for many, because of what they call the retirement blues. They're bored or lonely. They don't know how to find joy in anything else. So might as well make some more money, right? But I feel like this really could have been avoided from the beginning if work wasn't such a dominant factor in all of our lives. When my husband and I first talked about retiring early, or at least being financially independent, we learned so much about how to better manage our finances, and also we were able to organize our lives in a way that would better serve us in the long run, which really changed our lives. And I'm really grateful that we did that early on. But when we actually reached the point of financial independence, I realized that what I wanted wasn't really freedom from work. What I actually needed was a balance in my life. You know, retirement isn't the answer, and that shouldn't be the point when we start to live our lives, but we can live it now and we can do it as we work.
Through my financial independent journey, I learned that it's not about completely freeing up our time, but rather what we do with our free time that counts. Now I see work as something that is just one small part of my day, not something that is the center of my life. I want to always live way below our means so that I can continue to work the jobs that I find meaning in, even if it doesn't pay as well, or if society doesn't see the job as glamorous. I plan to make the time to pursue my passions, learn cool things, take rest if needed, spend time with people I love, just live my life to the fullest each day, because these are the things that I don't want to miss out on in order to get to the finish line. Because without these moments, having all the time in the world would be pointless.
Our lives are all so different. I mean, we are all so different. And I know that there's not just one way to live life. And I thought that I would just share my thoughts and perspective, because if you're watching this, I know that you also value a very slow and meaningful life as well. So let me know in the comments what you think about what work means to you and how you find balance in your own lives. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, take care and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.